Yeah, let's get it. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're feeling good. My name is Haziq Ali. We in the house. Check. Give me a replay, gang. If you're watching the replay, if you are cooling out with us live, that's even better. You know what I mean? Um, my name is Haziq Ali. We about to get this party started. I normally start with music and whatnot. Yeah, damn right. I just told Shalonda I tagged you on something that had hella leads, bro. Let them know we in the house, y'all. Share this with somebody. Okay, the YouTube gang checking in. I know normally I'm playing music and stuff like that, but listen, man. If you walking, and I mean you walking with a sense of purpose, and you don't bump into the devil, it's because you might be walking with that fool. You know what I mean? Just think about that for a minute. You know, the devil is manipulative yet powerless. You know, but I gotta tell you, man, what he gonna do is stop manipulating you if you already with him. You know what I mean? Why you gotta still manipulate you? He on to the next sucker. You know what I mean? You gotta think about it. Don't let that fool trick you out your mission. Don't let that fool trick you out your mission. And that's what he come to do. He come to kill, steal, destroy. You know, take advantage of your low self-esteem. Make you think you got a father figure, something like that. You know what I mean?
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown.
Y'all heard what he
you're
said?
in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you.
There
Just
go
hold
my
on.
baby.
There are 12 participants in the conference. Please enter your... Thank you.
All
Please
right.
announce yourself.
Y'all ready to get this party started?
All participants are muted.
Y'all tuning in
Entry
late
and
on a
exit
Monday
sounds
morning.
are off.
You know what that reminds me? I must didn't send out the text message this morning. If y'all haven't joined, and I was up so early. I did not send out the text message this morning, did I? I apologize for that. I'm gonna send it out right now. But how's everybody doing? Give me one word. How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Let me see it. Give me one word to describe your weekend, and then share this for me. Share this with me. How we doing? How we feeling? All right, I see some greats. All right, let's get it, Tyreek. Dang, you said the word that invented yours was that described yours was no. All right, eventful. Vita Lachey in the house. Who else we got? Let them know what kind of business you got. Y'all know how we do it, man. Don't do me like that. You know what kind of business you got? What rep your city, right? Let them know where you're representing. And even more importantly, what we want to know is what kind of business you have. How are you helping to change the world? You know, that's really what we want to know, to be honest. Not how you make money, right? Not how you make a living. We want to know how you create a life. You can dig that? We want to know how you create a life out here. What do you do to help make the world a better place? You know what I mean? Transportation. We definitely need that. Woo! Talk about it. Lafayette in here. All right. Syracuse in here. Emotional, huh, Vita? I love that. You know, until your mission becomes an obsession, you ain't never going to change your life. You dig? All right. Financial education. I love that. Especially because a lot of people don't realize it. But the way that slaves were kept slaves so long is because illiteracy is bondage. So if you're out here teaching people to be literate, what you're doing is you're acting as what we call an abolitionist. You're freeing the slaves. Oh, Hazik, slavery is over. Slaves work for free, and I don't work for free. I hear you, but maybe slaves didn't work for free. Maybe slaves just work for just enough. You hear me? What have you been lied to? What have you been tricked, hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok? You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. I love that. All right, so we're gonna get this party started. I had a real special subject for you this morning because I think that we have a lot of resources around us that we don't even necessarily use, y'all. I wrote a little bit when I was thinking about this last night when we was kind of like just chopping it up and stuff, and I started thinking about different of my family members. Like if you check my stories right now, you see this picture of my pops in there. It was like back in 1990, and they took a picture of him in one of his stores, and it's in my stories and whatnot, so y'all could see it, the newspaper article and all of that. But I started kind of beating myself up again about how I don't stay as close to certain people I love as I should. I don't reach out. I don't keep the bonds as strong. And there were some complicated things in my father and I's relationship. But nonetheless, I still loved him. I still now I kind of regret, my business partner said this thing on a mentorship call last night where he was like, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. Y'all heard that one before? Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. I thought that was a heck of a thing, man, because what I'm gonna give you this morning, yeah, you better talk about it, Erica. Just enough food, just enough clothing, just enough shelter to make it back to what? Work, the plantation. You know what I mean? So what I want to throw out there today for you is that the world needs to send out more meaningful correspondence. One of our revenue acceleration cycle principles is meaningful conversation. But in this world of automation and distraction, what the world needs is more people who are willing to be extraordinary enough to think about something other than themselves. If you joined the text message list, I gave you a quote last week that talked about the day a person finds something, a mission that's bigger than their personal ambition, a leader is born, right? It's all about you being sacrificial. It's all about the fact that people confuse self-love, right? To think that you're supposed to be self-focused. But the whole idea is that your real power comes from you have to serve before you deserve. You should be seeking to be valuable because once you're valuable, you become powerful. But what is value? It's how much more you give than you receive in payment. Isn't that the value of a thing? Oh, it costs me this much, but I receive all of this. That means this is more valuable. You could dig? So the whole idea is that you have to serve before you deserve. And it's counterintuitive. A lot of people don't, they sit in front of the fireplace and they say, hey, check it out. If you give me some wood, if you give me some heat, then I'll put some wood in there. That's not how life works. In this life, you've got to serve before you deserve. And I just want to suggest to you this morning that maybe we need to send out more meaningful correspondence, more meaningful emails, because we live in a world that's more connected than ever before. You got billions of internet-capable devices around the world, and the number keeps on growing. You have thousands of opportunities every day to connect with friends and family and complete strangers all over the world. And the number of ways to communicate with them seem to only be growing, right? It only seems to be getting bigger. Is that a fact? Right? So what are you doing with it? What are you doing with all these texts? What are you doing with all these tweets? What are you doing with all these Snapchats and these Facebook DMs, these Instagram messages? The options are nearly endless. What I want to suggest that you have more meaningful correspondence. And I know it's probably, something that's more for my baby boomer brothers and sisters, right? But I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't think that 140 characters or 280 characters is enough for you to really be. I don't think the true value comes. I don't think that texts can express grand ideas or communicate as well as a nicely constructed email or a nicely constructed letter. You hear me? Even a nice phone call. And by becoming a part of this social media echo chamber, I put this message out the other day where it was like, dang, all these epidemiologists and scientists and they keep on saying that the COVID is dangerous, but then my homie who barely graduated high school says it ain't. I don't know who to believe. It's like, nah, man, you ain't deep. You just got internet, right? You're not a philosopher. You just got a working internet and a phone. But that's the world we live in. You start becoming part of this social media echo chamber. And then what happens is you risk exhausting yourself. You risk exhausting other people with these messages that ain't relevant. I just want you to think about it this morning. When was the last time you sent an email just to say thank you? When was the last time you sent an email just to ask for help? When was the last time you wrote a letter to somebody that was absolutely unexpected and it wasn't a cold call for sales of some sort? I was forced to ask myself these questions yesterday. It came to me in a flash. I'm like, you know what? That's what we're going to talk about today. Because I couldn't remember the last time I sent out some correspondence where it actually had a deeper meaning to it other than business or sales or something like that. So I decided I'm going to make a change. Yeah, talk about it. The lack of meaningfulness is the evidence of a lack of mindfulness. That's very true. That's very true. What if you made a decision, y'all, to be somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody? Can somebody give me that in the comments? What if you made a decision to be somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody? I was at this thing called PowerNet with Dr. George Frazier, just a living legend, national treasure. And he gave these really incredible tips for building your network. And one of them is that, you have these different circles. You have aspirational circles, personal circles, network circles. I'll do a training on that soon enough. But what I want you to understand is that if you were to change around your life to sending 4 or 5 emails a week to people around the world that you want to connect with, right? And you want to go to a deeper level with that relationship. Maybe this is someone who can mentor you. Maybe this is an old friend. Maybe this is a former colleague. Maybe it's a relative stranger. Maybe it's a stranger who's a relative. Maybe it's a journalist. You hear me? Maybe it's an artist, right? Maybe, and this is what I'm saying. Some people ain't going to respond to you. Some going to act like you crazy, but a few of them are going to reach back with compassion. A few of them are going to reach back with real, genuine interest. And this can change everything for your life. If you were to write to somebody every day in a meaningful way, it will change everything. You're going to become a better communicator. You got all kinds of ideas and visions that will just bounce around in your head forever until you learn the communication skill set to get them out to other people. If you can do it by yourself, you really ain't doing much. I've been going over my book manuscript. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to get it out. It will be out by the end of this year. If not, then what I'm going to do is pay everybody a Millionaire Minded $100 a month if my book is not out by January. You mark my words. So, and that's basically the cost of the Kaizen Academy. I'm going to give everybody that in cash. You know what I mean? If I don't get this book out by the new, so there, boom, I said it. You know what I mean? Y'all can type it in the comments, hold me to it. That's what I'm telling you. But what I want you to know is that if you write more, if it's kind of like reading more, you're going to feel more creative. And creativity is next to godliness. You're going to feel more creative energy. You're also going to feel happier. You're going to have more power coursing through your veins. And then you're going to find that you spend a lot less time living in this echo chamber and more time focused on what you actually think. More time focused on what you have to say to somebody who's listening. You hear me? Man, some of y'all know Narissa, man. She has this whole thing where she will go in these streams of thought. Like she might see a movie. Like I remember when we went to go see Queen and Slim, she went into a whole like kind of like just stream of consciousness flow about all these thoughts about it that I'd never heard. I never thought myself. This movie was all over the media. I'd never heard anybody express it like that. And I was like, man, you got to go live. You got to like let them hear that, because a lot of people see her and they just think, oh, here's a pretty face, etc., so forth. But the more you begin to hone your communication ability, the more you start to have confidence in your ideas and your visions. And what it does is it begins to fight that myth that most people have in their head that experience is the best teacher. Some of y'all remember that like what we said about experience is that maybe it ain't the best teacher, right? Because what experience does is start making you feel like, oh, I've never seen this done before, so it must be impossible. Or, oh, I tried that before and it didn't work, so that taught me a lesson. Let me not even, right? But that's not how it works. For you to be great, you've got to be doing something that nobody ever did before. Anything that was ever created for the first time was created by somebody who was unqualified, because to be qualified means you've done it before. But how are you going to do something for the first time? There's no such thing as a qualified pioneer. But I'm going down a tangent. I got 5 different emails that I want you to work on. I got 5 different emails that I want you to consider. All right. And I challenge you. I want to see which one you like the best. If you're ready for number 1, give me a number 1 and a share. While I rock this tea real quick. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me a number 5 and a share. I'm sorry, a number 1 and a share. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, here's the first one I got for you. Show gratitude. Now, this is an easy one. Because if you're millionaire minded, you count your blessings constantly. You know that's a source of power for you. You know your footsteps hit the ground different when you're grateful. The devil be like, oh, snap. He done woke up. Oh, snap. She done woke up. Minute your feet hit the ground. If you are grateful, then the devil knows it's going to be a lot harder to distract you. It's going to be a lot harder to steer you off your destiny, to trick you out your harvest, right? It's like that penny doubling every day. That harvest is coming, but woo, in the beginning, it's hard to see. Don't you know anything worth having is gonna take some work to get it? Don't you realize the easier it comes, the easier it goes? I mean, you better look around in nature if you don't believe me. You know, we're all able to eat food because of a simple principle of seed time coming in a different season than harvest time. Just think about it. So since we are showing gratitude, let's just start with that, with an email. Say thank you to somebody who's made an impact on you. Might be a long lost friend, might be a colleague, might be an old high school teacher. I'm friends with my marketing teacher, and I need to write her a letter while she's still here with us, because now I'm CMO of a company that the minute I became CMO, not the minute, but I mean, you know what? Boom, Inc. 5,000 fastest growing company in America, right? I need to show her gratitude for how she made the subject fun, how she made it exciting. You know, between her and I Dream a Genie, which I used to watch when I was a little kid, and the dude, Darren, was an advertising executive. And I was like, you know what? That's what I want to be. And then I quickly discovered that music videos is just ads for songs and stuff. And then that got me into the music game, stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that anybody that you owe a debt of gratitude, what if you expressed it? Don't you know whatever you serve, you eventually going to have to eat, or you're going to eventually get to eat? I prefer to serve the kind of things where I can use, I get to eat it, right? But some of us, in certain ways, all of us are probably serving some things we're going to have to eat too. But what if we start serving more of what we're going to get to eat later on purpose? If you show gratitude, guess what? You're going to start receiving gratitude. Isn't that amazing? It's going to make you feel phenomenal. It's going to make them feel fantastic. And if you were to write only one of these 5 emails I'm giving you on a regular basis, I'm saying choose this one. Show gratitude. If you're ready for number 2, give me a number 2 and a share. Yeah, show gratitude. It's going to change your life. Give people their flowers while you can smell them, while they can smell them. Here's the second one I got for you. Ask for help. Ask for help, y'all. Now, this one's slightly more challenging. You hear me, Smitty? This one right here gonna throw some of us off, K. Nicole. Right, Cindy? Ask for help, y'all. Ask for help. Now, just as important as the first one, because what a lot of us don't realize is that in our ego of wanting to be an excellent giver, we forget that this is a whole yin-yang thing. To be an excellent giver, you also have to be an excellent receiver. But some of you won't even voice it when you need help. Some of us are so caught up in ourselves that we don't want to face that rejection, or we don't want to face that feeling that we ain't perfect. But guess what? Your feelings ain't facts. You can feel you don't need help all you want, but that don't make it true. Ask for help. Understanding how to open yourself up to the world is hard, especially in a world as cold as this one can be. Especially in a society that's so beleaguered and burdened by online bullying, trolling. People sit behind their keyboards and become just keyboard gangsters, and all of a sudden they holier than everybody, right? What I'm saying is, take the time to think of somebody you respect, take the time to think of somebody you admire, and then think of what you'd like to know about them. Think about what they might be able to teach you. Think about how they might be able to help you, and then check this out. Already have in mind how you might be able to help them, because the 5 words that will get you help from anybody that you need help from, y'all, 5 of them are, how can I help you? And, chances are these individuals right here are going to be flattered that you asked for their help. You hear me? And they might provide you with life-changing insights. If it's somebody that's in the role of a mentor or a teacher, I'm going to tell you something. These individuals are far less likely to ask for payment or expect anything in return. It's the pleasure they get from sharing their knowledge that becomes their reward. Because I'm going to tell you something about the powerful. I'm going to tell you about something about some of the most incredible people on the planet. Their own family don't revere them the way you think, because their own family is used to them. They become common. Their own children, their own significant other does not quite see them the same way because they're so common now. They're so common. So here you come, showing all this gratitude and love. You'd be surprised. It's easier than you think. It's easier than you think. It's easier than you think. If you're ready for number 3, give me a number 3 and a share. Give me a number 3 and a share. Give me a number 3 and a share. That's right. That's right. Those are the 5 magic words, baby. Give me a number 3 and a share. Here's the third one I got for you. Do something unexpected. Now, this is a fun one. This is a fun one, right? This is a fun one. Do something unexpected. This is the kind of email that's best suited to people that like to fix stuff, especially all the life hackers out there, the life coaches. And I know we got a million of them in Millionaire Minded. This is also a real good email to send if you enjoy helping people. It's a great email to help build business relationships and business connections and lasting relationships with your friends. The key to developing the content for this kind of letter or this kind of email is to think openly, to let that godliness flow in. They always say cleanliness is next to godliness. We'd be like creativity is next to godliness, right? So think about a friend or a classmate and try to put yourself in their shoes. What challenges do they have going on right now? You're like, damn, I never even thought about that. Exactly. That's how most people are thinking about themselves. I don't have to be a mind reader. I don't have to be a psychic. And I can tell everybody that's listening to me right now what they're thinking about themselves. But maybe your classmate is struggling to launch this new business, right? How can you make their life easier? What knowledge or what relationship do you have that can connect them to a solution to their problem? If you send more emails like this, you'll never be at a loss for friends. You'll never be at a loss for contacts. You'll never be at a loss for genuine water when now you're the one that's thirsty. Isn't that interesting? Give me number 4 in the share. I got 2 more for you. Number 4 is express an opinion. We running out of time. I'm gonna hurry up. Give me a number 4 in the share, y'all. Express an opinion. Y'all know you need somebody in your life need to hear this. Express an opinion, y'all. Now this one is especially important for adventurers and entrepreneurs, right? Same thing. Learn to eloquently express your opinions through text. Practice convincing other people what you believe or compelling them to take your point of view, right? And then what will happen is you'll start to cultivate leadership skills. Man, it's amazing watching old documentaries or old movies. Like there's this one called King of Harlem that covers Bumpy Johnson, but Malcolm X is in there. And they got this whole part of the series where he's composing one of his most famous speeches. It was called The Ballot or the Bullet. And it's amazing watching as he begins to develop his thoughts, on paper, his thoughts, how he's thinking about it. No echo chamber around, just him fighting for a just cause that, he knows from the beginning that he may not live to see come to fruition. But what about you? You have opinions. And when you begin to express them, you start to cultivate your leadership skill. But you ain't got to start with being Malcolm X. You can start by sending an email to a friend that expresses an opinion or makes an argument for something that's near and dear to you, right? Maybe that Chipotle you just now had is the greatest restaurant in existence. That sounds ridiculous to me. But maybe not so much to you. You don't have to convince them of your point of view right away. The point is to express yourself in a one-on-one fashion with somebody you think will bother to read your message. It may seem subtle, but what I'm telling you, millionaire, is trust me. The more you're able to do this, the more confident you're going to become. You get me? Now you feel more confident in growing your opinion about the things that truly do matter. If you're ready for number 5, give me a number 5 in the share. I got one last one for you. I got one last one for you. Number 5 in the share. It still ain't too late to share with somebody you love, man. Somebody you want to see grow. Every morning we're doing mindset, skill set. I would say today is more focused on heart set. You know what I mean? I would say today is more focused on heart set. Number 5 is an email or a letter of apology. An email or a letter of apology. One of the first things they have you do in a 12-step program, like when you're getting rid of drug addiction or you're getting rid of alcoholism or you're getting rid of sex addiction, whatever it is, right? One of the first things they have you do is write a letter to people whom you've harmed. Write a letter, make a phone call, have some meaningful correspondence with someone who you've harmed. Why is this important? Because when you acknowledge that you've harmed someone, you've set a new standard for yourself. You've now sort of made a step in the direction that you are going to change this particular behavior. If you seek to blame or justify or slide your way out of it, then what happens is you still stay the same person. It's almost like you tripping this person up so you win the race, but that don't mean you're a faster runner. Millionaires, what if you wrote an email that kind of locks in this new insight, this new perspective, this stronger, more beneficial philosophy you have for yourself. Because don't forget, the bigger the self-esteem, the smaller the ego. Don't forget, the smaller the self-esteem, the bigger the ego. Which are you choosing to grow in yourself? So those are the 5 I got for you. I hope that was helpful. Which was your favorite? Which was your favorite? Yeah, making amends. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, now you're taking ownership of your status as top of the food chain, your ability to respond, aka your responsibility. You like, I ain't got nobody to apologize to, Hazik. Well, you definitely need to do it. Appreciate that, Sabrina, for the share. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And the best part about this is you can start the day. Think about the different groups you're a part of, man. Your personal acquaintances, your professional network, your spiritual guides, your closest friends and family. Like I said, you got relative strangers, and then you got strangers who are relatives. You can start with them. Make a list of 30 to 50 people. Make a list of 30 to 50 people that you'd like to email or that you'd like to write a letter to. And then start sending these 4 or 5 emails a week until you need to replenish the list. What eventually happens might surprise you. If you're ready to try some affirmations, call in right now. We're about to get this party started. Repeat after me, millionaires. I am so happy.